Now at 5, the family of the missing Labette County man, Dakota Patton, speaks out as the search continues. Plus, the city of Joplin recognizes its employees for Local Government Week. And
police have charged the driver of an SUV with manslaughter after he plowed his car through a group of migrants near the southern border. In Brownsville, Texas, I'm Nicole Scango with the latest.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The family of a missing Parsons, Kansas man is speaking out as they continue to search for him. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Jalen Banks. 23-year-old Dakota Patton was last seen on April 25th in Parsons. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation and the Labette County Sheriff's Office are investigating. They say foul play is suspected in Patton's disappearance. His vehicle was found abandoned in a field in rural Labette County. Investigators believe Patton may have last been in the area along the Neosho River between 20th Road and Wallace Road and 60th Road. Patton's family says they started looking for Dakota as soon as they sensed something was wrong.
And because I couldn't get it out of my head and I knew something was wrong. So I would come here and picked up Mom in the morning and we just drove the back way to Clint's house. And I was on the actual mile section to the west that day before looking for Dakota.
If you know anything about Dakota's disappearance, you're asked to contact police. Tonight at 6, we'll hear more from his family. This week is Local Government Week in the state of Missouri. It's a chance for cities to recognize their employees for all the hard work they do. The city of Joplin today added a message of appreciation and support in written chalk outside the entrances of city facilities. Officials say the Joplin city staff makes a big difference in the community.
We've got a tremendous team here that are passionate about serving this community. And the city organization impacts people's lives daily here in the community. And we're a service organization, so we have to have great employees to be able to serve the community.
The city of Joplin employs more than 550 people with more than 40 departments. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hedy joins us with the first look at the weather.
Well, it's going to be a very active weather week for us this week. Numerous rounds of showers and thunderstorms starting today. Severe thunderstorm watch out across parts of Kansas and most of Missouri. This is until 11 p.m. Already a few severe thunderstorm warnings popping up just north of Nevada. Now, the main threat as we go through the evening hours is going to be gusty winds and very large hail. In fact, we have meteorologist Sam Lane and our chief photog, Ty Parks, out tracking these storms right now, very close to I-49 north of Nevada. But you can see as these storms, the clouds are darkening as they begin to work in as we go through the evening hours. So let's go ahead through time. We're going to see these storms continue to pop up. So here's 8 p.m. Again, main threat is going to be large hail and gusty winds and kind of driving off toward the south and to the east. Severe threat each and every day this week. We're going to break that down for you here in just a bit.
The pandemic-era immigration policy that allowed the government to quickly expel migrants at the southern border to slow down the spread of COVID comes to an end this week. Immigration officials say as Title 42 ends, as many as 10,000 migrants a day could come to the border hoping to make it to America. 1,500 U.S. soldiers and Marines will arrive on the southern border this week to help the expected increase. Police in Brownsville, Texas have charged a man in connection with a deadly crash yesterday outside a migrant center. 8 people died and 10 others were critically injured. Reporter Nicole Scango has the latest from Brownsville.
The driver of a Range Rover that plowed into a group of migrants at a bus stop in Brownsville, Texas Sunday morning now faces manslaughter charges.
Through the investigation, it was found that the SUV ran a red light, lost control, flipped on its side, and struck a total of 18 individuals.
The chief says 34-year-old Georgia Alvarez attempted to run from the scene, but bystanders held him down until police arrived. Investigators are awaiting a toxicology report and looking at whether the crash was intentional.
George Alvarez is a Brownsville local with an extensive rap sheet. He has been formally charged and arraigned with 8 counts of manslaughter, 10 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
This migrant, Luis, was traveling with the victims, many from Venezuela. He said they were at the bus stop waiting for a ride to the airport when they saw the SUV barreling toward them. The witness said the SUV driver was yelling profanities at the crowd as he accelerated.
They were coming at about 60 miles per hour, and when they saw all of us migrants standing there, they accelerated. I can't say how fast, but they accelerated and ran us all over.
On Sunday night, the community held a mass to honor the victims. Police say the suspect is not cooperating with the investigation. Nicole Skanga, CBS News, Brownsville, Texas.
The suspect is being held on a $3.6 million bond. The police chief says he could face more charges as the investigation unfolds. Investigators are looking into whether the gunman in this weekend's deadly mass shooting at a mall outside of Dallas had links to a neo-Nazi group. The gunman killed 8 people and injured 7 others Saturday afternoon in Allen, Texas, before a police officer killed him. 2 sources say the shooter had a patch on his clothing that is believed to be associated with extremist groups. California is one step closer to approving reparation payments for black residents. The state's reparations task force voted over the weekend to approve recommendations for possible payments, potentially numbering into the millions to eligible black residents. The 9-member committee approved economic models for legislators to then consider and determine any payouts. The panel also unanimously voted to recommend California apologize for the state's role in perpetuating discriminatory policies. Still ahead, trying to combat flight cancellations.
The Biden administration wants airlines to compensate passengers for delays and cancellations. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House with the new proposals to protect flyers.
And next in Health Watch, what a new survey shows about how much children are worrying after the pandemic. Topping today's Health Watch, the FDA is warning that more than 500,000 COVID tests from Roche and S&D biosensor should be thrown out immediately due to concerns the liquid solution could contain potentially harmful bacteria. The tests were distributed to CVS and Amazon. So far, the FDA says it has not received any reports of injuries or deaths linked to the contaminated test, though some users may have received false negative or false positive results. People who suffer from extreme fatigue after a COVID infection may benefit from cognitive behavioral therapy. That's according to researchers in Amsterdam who found the treatment helped patients function better physically and socially and improve their concentration. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. A new survey is sounding the alarm about worries among young children, with 86% reporting worrying. Reporter Bradley Blackburn has more on how the pandemic may have fueled anxiety for young people and what parents can do about it.
Like many kids across the country, 12-year-old Maeve Bradley had to stay home during the pandemic. But when she returned to the classroom, she says her mind filled with worries.
Because we were doing a lot of stuff on computer, and now it's back with different kind of tests and stuff.
Let's go, Maeve!
For a while, Maeve took a break from team sports. But through it all, her mom, Maura, was ready to listen.
I just wanted to make sure she knew she could come and talk, and no matter what, we would be there for her.
A survey from Nemours Kids Health finds more than 1 in 3 kids aged 9 to 13 worry at least once a week, most often about school or friendships. But more than half don't think adults understand their concerns.
More important than the content of the worry is the frequency and the magnitude of the worry.
Nemours CEO Dr. Lawrence Moss says for some kids, worries can lead to depression and mental health problems that extend into adulthood.
Of serious mental illness in the adult population, 75% started before age 14. So if we don't jump on top of this problem, we're literally at risk of losing a whole generation of Americans.
Dr. Moss says parents should be proactive by simply asking kids what's on their mind.
Can you talk to us? Yeah.
For the Bradley family, that starts early, even for 7-year-old Quinn. Maeve is now better and back to playing sports.
Maeve, why did you want to talk about this?
I know that some kids are really struggling, and I just want to know that there's people who are going through the same thing.
Kids who need adults to take their worries to heart. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
According to the survey, 75% of younger children said they turn to their parents first for information or advice. That number dropped to nearly 50% for older children. Harvard researchers have identified yet another benefit of kicking a smoking habit. In a study of patients with the most common form of lung cancer, They found the longer a person went without cigarettes, the better their odds of survival, while those who never smoked had the best outcomes. The findings showed benefits for those who quit before their diagnosis. New research in the journal Cancer finds a combination of immunotherapy and chemotherapy helps prolong and improve the lives of people with advanced lung cancer. The clinical trial results also revealed those patients experienced less pain, constipation, and nausea compared to those who received chemotherapy alone. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, how some fast food restaurants are implementing artificial intelligence into their service.
Plus, we're tracking some thunderstorms working through this evening. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, after a hot weekend, it turned out to be a very warm Monday for us today. Partly sunny skies warming up, but even some thunderstorms have been popping up across the region. Nice little shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, severe thunderstorm watch till 11 p.m. Sliver of Kansas, all of southwestern parts of Missouri as we go through the evening hours. And you can see our thunderstorms firing up right along our cold front. So our far northern counties, but these will start to advance off toward the south and to the east and continue to develop as we go through the evening hours. But most of these right along I-49 just north of Nevada up toward Rich Hill. In fact, let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane and our chief photog, Ty Parks. You can see they're just south of this storm, which is developing really from Butler just north of Nevada, and these are sinking into the area as we go through the evening hours. Main threat, let's go back to the radar, and you can see main threat for us tonight is going to be large hail and gusty winds where these storms pop up. But again, they're going to be very scattered, so not everybody is going to get these showers and thunderstorms. But you can see here's our front. See this wind shift line? So this is going to play havoc with us next few days. It's going to slide through tonight and then hang out on top of us once again as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, and that gives us another chance for severe thunderstorms. Let's go through the evening. 8 p.m., scattered thunderstorms across the region. The ones that do pop up could go severe. Main threat is going to be large hail and gusty winds. I think mainly our severe threat is kind of gone after about 9 or 10 p.m., but still through the night along that front, we're going to have scattered showers and thunderstorms. Here's 2:30 in the morning. We can go into the morning hours, still some hit and miss little storms. Temperatures will drop back into the mid-60s. For us today, it's been warm. Look at this. Most of us mid-80s out there right now. Here's 7th. Here's range line sitting at 85. Westerly winds 10 to 15. Humidity is at 46%. And with these scattered thunderstorms tonight, that front kind of sinks in and then lifts back toward the north as we go through the morning hours. And then by tomorrow afternoon, you can see upper 70s to near 80 by the noon hour. But once we get into the afternoon, right along that front, we're going to have to watch showers and thunderstorms trying to pop up again. Here's 4 p.m. As we get into the evening hours, we could get pretty widespread storms, and these are going to have a much higher tornado threat than what we have today. So that's why we're going to make Tuesday an alert day with severe weather. But you can see these storms driving through as we go through tomorrow evening, and then we get a break, and then we kind of do it again by the time we head into Wednesday and also Wednesday afternoon. Day planner for you tomorrow, 67 to start, near 80 by noon. I think a high temp right around 84 degrees. Also look at this, because this is something we do need. Rain chances sticking around each and every day this week. So we have the potential by this weekend for a lot of areas to get 2, 3, even 4 inches of rain, something we greatly need. Our alert day tomorrow with our severe threat, and again, a severe threat through this evening, mainly in southwestern Missouri. Thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think severe threat Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe into the weekend as well. So a lot to watch this week.
Other than the severe threat tomorrow, but just the fact that we have rain.
Yeah, we need the rain.
In general.
Yes.
Pretty exciting week.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, thank you, Doug. NASA has launched a new mission aimed at improving hurricane forecasting. The first 2 CubeSats, nicknamed Rocket Like a Hurricane, lifted off from New Zealand yesterday evening. They are about the size of a loaf of bread and weigh about 12 pounds each. In about 2 weeks, 2 additional CubeSats, nicknamed Coming to a Storm Near You, are set to launch. Together, the 4 satellites will orbit about 340 miles above Earth's surface. capturing hourly observations of the precipitation, temperature, and humidity of tropical storms. Coming up, how the Biden administration is trying to protect flyers from flight cancellation and delays. Topping today's Consumer Watch, more than 600,000 federal student loan borrowers from the public sector have gotten their debts forgiven since October 2021. The program promises to wipe away remaining federal student loan debt after an eligible government or nonprofit worker, such as a teacher or police officer, makes 10 years of monthly payments. Government data show about 3% of flights were canceled in 2022. Many airlines cover the price of rebooking and hotels, but policies vary. Now the president is proposing new rules to make compensation mandatory. Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
The Department of Transportation says more than 180,000 flights were canceled last year. In December, a scheduling and staffing meltdown at Southwest left thousands of holiday travelers stranded.
I was supposed to fly back on Monday the 26th. Found out I couldn't get back until Thursday.
The Biden administration says it's working on new regulations that would require airlines to compensate passengers for non-weather-related delays and cancellations that are within the carrier's control.
Our top priority has been to get American air travelers a better deal.
The rules could require airlines go beyond a ticket refund and include compensation for meals, hotel rooms, transportation, and rebookings.
Airlines need to accept their fundamental responsibility to better serve passengers.
The airline industry says more than half of cancellations in 2022 and 2023 have been caused by factors it can't control, including extreme weather and air traffic system outages.
These rules are unnecessary.
Nicholas Calillo is president and CEO of Airlines for America and says new regulations in Europe led to higher airfare prices.
We have no incentive to delay or cancel a flight. When that happens and it's within our control, we do everything we can to make our passengers whole.
But the Biden administration wants to make it a mandatory rule, though it won't happen soon. It could be anywhere from 12 months to 2 years before the regulations take effect. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Consumers can currently go to flightrights.gov to see what each airline offers in case of a delay or cancellation. Some fast food chains are the latest businesses to jump on the AI bandwagon. According to a release by parent company CKE Restaurant Holdings, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's locations are launching artificial intelligence technology to take orders at drive-thrus. The company says it's an effort to boost accuracy, speed, and revenue, as well as to manage staffing shortages. All-you-can-eat buffets are back now that the pandemic has subsided. Industry tracker Placer.ai says visits to 3 leading chains were up 125% in March compared to January of 2021. Nation's Restaurant News reports Golden Corral sales grew 14% last year compared to pre-pandemic levels. CC's Pizza and Pizza Ranch are also thriving. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, more on the investigation after a deadly mass shooting at a Texas mall. Then on KOAM News at 6, the Oklahoma Attorney General responds to the early release from prison of Ronnie Busick, the man convicted in the deaths of 2 girls from Welch. Plus, we'll hear from the family of Dakota Patton, a Labette County man missing since last month. And we'll hear from the Missouri Southern softball team on making the national tournament. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News, then KOAM News at 6. So we've got some storms potentially rolling in.
We do. We got some popping up out there right now, especially in our northern counties, Butler, Rich Hill, just north of Nevada, over into St. Clair County. And these are going to continue to develop and eventually roll off toward the south and to the east as we go through the evening hours. So scattered, strong to severe thunderstorms, alert day tomorrow with another severe threat. And of course, we're going to have the latest on that tonight at 6.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you guys all for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And then, of course, we'll be right back here for your KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.